We just heard from the choir the message, love has made a place for you where everything is new. A hard but timely time for this message when so much of our state has been destroyed, right? And a timely time when love has also been embodied in neighbors and strangers turning towards one another, tending to one another's physical existence, as well as deep need for human connection and love. We come to this space to worship in need of so much today and every day, right? Hope, comfort, love, joy, vision, courage. We come to this space to become renewed, grounded, and energized. We come to worship, to the fellowship, the congregation, the church, whatever words we might use, to have hope that we can be more of who we long to be. To have hope that our world can be more of what we long it to be. Our state and so many of our beloved people in places ravaged by storm, by the greed and irresponsibility that have caused climate change. Our world once again moving deeper into war. Amidst all this, we come in hope that our whole world may be made brand new. We come with that hope even though we know it cannot, right? Our whole world cannot be made brand new, and so we come to worship to at least see anew. To see our world clearly and with hope. To look at the immense damage and also at the deep acts of love and courage that we always find when there is disaster. We come to worship week after week to see ourselves anew and to try and perhaps make ourselves anew. Though we know we cannot take away past actions, we know too that we can, in every moment of every day, make a choice to live and love and be differently, right? Worship is a space that opens us up to this possibility of change, even of transformation if we want it to be so. When worship is wholly grounded in this place and this time, it can also, I believe, be a moment totally transcendent of this time and space. Something hovering, a moment of clarity, of awe, of connection. Now, how, you might wonder, can worship be firmly rooted in a place and time and hover over or alongside it? I believe that when we are very clear and honest about reality and our place in it, we can gain an almost superpower to also be seeing the moment from far away with a sharp and a wide clarity, while also being fully in the moment. Now, I know that might make no sense, so here's an example. One of the most profound worship experiences I have ever had was a Sunday when the church I was serving chose to do things very differently. I was in Charleston, West Virginia. I know I talk about West Virginia a lot. It formed me. Here we are. This is a place and a state with a very strong and proud labor history. And the teacher strike of 2018 was just about to begin. The whole city and state were electric. They were proud of the teachers who had done so much for so many for so long, proud that their state could once again be leading in something good and just. It's not usually why West Virginia makes the news, right? And so the community, including the houses of worship, gathered together to make sure that all of the children would still have access to meals because the teachers asked us all to pitch in. So many children in West Virginia rely on school meals for daily nourishment, and the teachers asked us to make sure they could still get this. And so, of course, we did. So this Sunday, as the teacher strike was taking off, we gathered in our sanctuary for worship, but with tables and chairs instead of rows of chairs. We gathered together with a deep sense of love and pride for the state and our teachers and care of all the children. We sang, took a moment of meditation and prayer, and then we packed lunch bags. But we didn't just pack lunch bags, right? The whole sanctuary was abuzz with love and energy, clarity and courage, that we are right here doing what we ought to be doing, what we are truly called to do in this moment and time and place. And so we were suspended above the moment too, seeing and feeling the love, the deep interconnectedness, the connection of spirit, heart, mind, and community, of our mission and purpose being filled out, even in a small way, in a small place, in a small time. So, why, after that story, you might wonder, are we not packing supplies to bring to Western North Carolina right now? It's a very fair question. Take a glass of water. So now is the moment when action is needed, yes. And we have and will continue to issue those calls. However, now is also a time when we must center and ground ourselves, knowing that we might not be of most use by driving into the mountains and using resources others so dearly need right now, right? And we do this knowing too that this will be incredibly long-term, long-haul recovery work. A marathon, not a sprint. And for marathons, we got to be conscious of how we're refueling and re-energizing, keeping our ground and our center. So yes, we do what needs done. We bring donations when asked for by those we trust. We give money to the cause, which we'll be doing later. And we might be calling upon some of you to see if you can transport some supplies to Asheville or to a truck in Charlotte in the coming weeks. Stay tuned. And we will stay in relationship with our fellow UU congregations, some folks who are worshiping with us right now. We will hope to deepen this relationship by being present to one another and one another's needs. We'll answer the calls we get, though we don't yet know what they'll be. And we'll keep caring for ourselves so we can do what we need to do when we get these calls. Now, how is all this related to our question for the day? Why we worship? Or what is worship? So, the word worship etymologically means denoting value, denoting that something is valuable, has a condition of being worthy and honored. The act of worship is an act of holding up what is of worth to us. Now, the word in and of itself requires no God and no God that everyone who gathers to worship together agrees on. When we gather to worship together, we hold up what is valuable to us together. Now, what is valuable to us is probably different than what is valuable to me or you or you or you or you, right? Each of us likely has different senses of what is most valuable, what has most worth to us in any given moment and place. When we worship together, we are focused on what collectively for us as a group in this time and place needs to be honored for its worth and value. Now, it is quite likely that in our own spiritual practices and in our own lives, some of us do not have the capacity right now to take into account some of the happenings of our world or even our region, right? When our lives are particularly heavy or full, we need to make our worlds smaller. And I want to say clearly that that is healthy and normal and good. It is how we tend to ourselves and our family of blood or choice first, so that later we can tend to others. Throughout our lives, our circles will get smaller and bigger depending on what is happening in our own lives and in our families' lives. So, to those of us whose hearts are heavy and full with our own inner lives or our family lives, take this message to heart. You are not alone. Others too know sadness and suffering, and others too know that there can be joy amidst this, that crying, dancing, laughing, and yelling can all be had here, and that you can join in these with us, whatever might be spilling out of you. Our hope is that whatever we each are holding, the fact that we can hold it together will make us feel more light and hope-filled, might help us feel this because it is true, that more is possible when we can share our burdens, our joys, and our purpose together. And we believe that when we orient in both our individual and our wider world realities, we gain helpful and grounding perspective and hope, even amidst disaster. Even amidst disaster, we are not alone, and the world does not stop moving, even if ours is on pause. Others are here, grieving and loving, and making small, beautiful miracles happen every single day. And so, this is why week after week, month after month, year after year, we worship together. Right now, we worship that which is most value in our collective reality in this time and in this place. The truth of our interconnectedness. The truth that there are whole towns in our state that will need to be made new. The truth that neighbors are turning to one another, being love and hope in ways they had never done before. Love made new amidst it all. The truth that we too can be this love made new. That we too can be this love. My colleague, Reverend Soto, reminds us, we are the people who return to love like a North Star and to the truth that we are greater together than we are alone. This is how we worship together. May now we sit with our hearts in their breaking open. May they move us into love and the truth of our interconnectedness and all of the power and the beauty that that contains. Amen. May it be so, and may we make it so.